Boker Tov, good morning. We continue with our 3-minute daily dose of Torah. Today looking at the Pasuk in chapter 23, Perek Gimel, Pasuk Daled, and Hey for that matter. This is what the Torah says. Ki tifga shor oyivcha o chamaro to'eh. If you come across the ox of your enemy or his donkey, to'eh, seemingly, lost, wandered off. Hashev teshivenu lo, you must certainly return it to him. And the Torah continues the next pasuk. If you see the donkey of your the one that you hate, or the one who hates you, and it's falling under the burden on his back, and you might first have an inclination not to help him. So the Torah says, Azov ta'azovimo, you have to help. What's interesting in all of this is when you read this text, this is the obligation to be of assistance, is that later on in the Torah, when we meet these mitzvot again, there you speak about achicha. You speak about your brother, and so you understand this is what you do for one another as brethren. But in our text here, the Torah is not directing, the issue isn't revolving around your brother, but rather the person who's called your oyev or your soneh, your enemy, or the one you hate or who hates you. And so who are we talking about? And here I just share with you what the Mechilta says. Hold on. Here are the words in the Mechilta. Shor oyivcha, the ox of your enemy. First possibility, ze goy oved elelim. This is talking about someone who is an idolater, and we are supposed to do battle with idolaters and idolatry, and not supposed to assist idolaters. And next interpretation, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, beger shechazar l'suro. We're talking about someone who had converted to Judaism and then returned to his old idolatrous behaviors. So someone who's who is in your orbit generally, in principle, and yet has again turned away from our faith. Yitzchak says, "B'Yisrael Meshumad," or another version of this, right? All revolving around religious people who you are at war with religiously. A Jew who has rejected his faith. That's what we're talking about. And interestingly, in all those cases, the Torah says, even though that is true, you have a mitzvah and an obligation to provide help. That is fascinating, right? You provide assistance to those people who are your enemy. And this is really important for us to know this. We'll say this sounds so Christian. It's a Jewish text. And we should know this is our value, that we're not at war in every way with such individuals. We're there to provide help according to these opportunities in all the human interactions that we can. We'll fight our battles on the religious field as we need to, but when they're when they've got a lost animal or the like, we need to be there to help. What a good musar, a good message for us all, and a reminder about what it means to live in a larger world. Tomorrow we'll look at one more interpretation of this text. Have a good day.